Hey everyone! Before I dive into today's powerful story, drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from. I love connecting with viewers from around the world. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on your screen right now to get more stories like this one. Your support means everything. Oh, hell no. Who let this one in? Patricia Whitmore's voice sliced across the Meadowbrook terrace. She was staring at the black woman in jeans and a blazer, sitting alone near the window. Babe, look. We've got another charity case trying to eat with the members. Patricia's laugh was vicious. What's next? Food stamps at the buffet. Brandon didn't hesitate. He snatched a chocolate croissant and launched it like a fastball. The pastry exploded against the woman's head, chocolate erupting through her hair. Patricia screamed with delight. Yes, Brandon. She was clapping. That's what happens when trash doesn't know its place. The woman sat frozen. Chocolate dripped down her neck. She didn't turn around. David Whitmore stood up, pointing. You, out now before I have you arrested for trespassing. I was invited, she whispered. Like hell you were. Have you ever seen the entitled Destroy Everything with One Cruel Laugh? Meadowbrook Country Club sat on 47 acres of perfect Connecticut lawn, the kind of green that required 3 groundskeepers and a 6-figure irrigation system. Old oaks lined the entrance. Bentleys and Maseratis filled the valet circle. Saturday morning, 11:47 a.m. The spring benefactors brunch was underway. Crystal chandeliers hung from vaulted ceilings. Oil paintings covered the walls. All the club's founders. All white men. All long dead. Fresh lilies perfumed the air. Violins played softly in the corner. Membership cost $50,000 per year. The waiting list stretched 7 years, but money wasn't enough. You had to fit. The committee had rejected 19 applications in 2 years. 15 were people of color. Servers in white gloves moved like shadows. Most were black or Latino. They kept their eyes down. They had learned. This was where Connecticut's elite made deals, arranged marriages, ensured their children attended the right schools, joined the right firms, married the right families. Jordan Ellis had arrived at 11:15. She was 43, PhD in aerospace engineering from MIT. Her company, Ellis Industries, manufactured defense technology. Last quarter brought $600 million in revenue, 12,000 employees across 8 states. Forbes profiled her 3 months ago. The headline, From Garage Startup to Defense Giant, How Dr. Jordan Ellis Built a Billion-Dollar Empire. Today, she wore dark jeans, a navy blazer from Nordstrom Rack, simple gold studs, natural hair pulled back. No designer bag, no flashy jewelry. She had dressed down deliberately. Robert Henderson, the club president, had invited her. He wanted Ellis Industries to sponsor a STEM program, $5 million over 3 years. The club would get publicity. Jordan had one condition: she wanted to see the culture firsthand. Not as a CEO, not as a donor, just as a guest nobody recognized. She wanted to watch how members treated people they assumed didn't belong. So she sat alone at a corner table, head down, looking like someone's assistant, someone who wandered in by mistake. Her phone was in her pocket, recording app ready. She had learned to document everything, every insult, every microaggression, every moment people revealed themselves. She was reviewing quarterly reports when the hit came. Now chocolate dripped from her hair. Her documents were ruined. Patricia Whitmore was still laughing. The Whitmores sat 3 tables over. Center terrace. Best view of the golf course. Patricia was 45. Blonde highlights. Too much Botox. Her Instagram said, luxury lifestyle influencer. 47,000 followers. She posted Range Rovers and Hermes bags and Hampton weekends. Every caption, blessed and grateful and living my best life. She ran the Ladies' Auxiliary Committee. She controlled the social calendar. She decided who got invited, who belonged. 2 years ago, she blocked 3 families of color from membership. Her words, culture fit and traditional values and preserving community character. David Whitmore was 52, third-generation wealth. His grandfather started Whitmore Properties in 1958. Now, David ran it. $890 million in assets, shopping centers, office parks, luxury apartments. He was good at inheriting, not much else. His company was bidding on the biggest deal of his career. Ellis Industries needed a headquarters campus. $1.5 billion, 15 buildings, 3,000 employees. Whitmore Properties led the bids. David spent 6 months on the proposal. Schmoozing, networking, calling favors. Final decision meeting Monday morning, 48 hours away. David had no idea he just watched his son assault Dr. Jordan Ellis. Patricia didn't know either. Nobody in that room did. Brandon Whitmore was 12, only child, expelled from 2 private schools for bullying. His third academy only took him after his parents donated a new library wing. He had never heard the word no, never faced consequences. His parents always intervened, always made problems disappear with checks and connections. He mirrored everything they taught him. The contempt, the entitlement, the belief that some people simply mattered less. Jordan sat perfectly still. Chocolate pulled at her white collar. She reached for her napkin with controlled movements. Her breathing was measured, but her hand shook. Thomas, the club manager, stood near the kitchen doors. He was 53, black, 30 years at Meadowbrook. He had seen everything, heard everything, said nothing. He had bills to pay, grandchildren to help through college. He watched Jordan dab chocolate from her hair, his jaw clenched, his fists tightened at his sides, but he stayed where he was. An elderly woman at table 7 started to stand. Margaret, 72. Her husband grabbed her wrist, pulled her back down, shook his head. She Saturday. Everyone Saturday. Everyone watched. Nobody helped. Jordan placed her napkin on the table. Chocolate stained the white linen. She took a slow breath and began gathering her papers. Water had spilled across the documents. Ink bled through quarterly projections, strategic plans, confidential reports. Her hands moved carefully, deliberately, like she was defusing a bomb. Patricia's voice cut through the terrace again. Thomas. She snapped her fingers at the manager. Thomas, get over here. Thomas approached their table. His expression was neutral. Professional. Years of practice. Yes, Mrs. Whitmore. That woman. Patricia pointed at Jordan without looking at her. I don't recall seeing her on the guest list. Did you check her invitation? Thomas hesitated. Mr. Henderson invited her personally. Patricia's eyes narrowed. Robert Henderson invited her. She laughed. I find that very hard to believe. He knows our standards. Jordan kept her head down. She stacked wet papers carefully. One page, then another. Her jaw was tight. I assure you, Thomas started. Don't assure me of anything. Patricia stood abruptly. Her chair scraped against marble. The sound echoed. I'm going to handle this myself. She crossed the terrace in 5 sharp clicks of Louis Vuitton heels. David followed, phone still in hand. Brandon trailed behind them, grinning. Other diners turned to watch. Some pulled out phones. The violinist in the corner missed a note. Patricia stopped directly behind Jordan's chair, close enough that her perfume was overwhelming. Chanel No. 5. Too much of it. Excuse me. Her voice was ice. This is a members-only event. I'm the president of the Ladies' Auxiliary Committee and I don't recognize you. Jordan continued stacking papers. She didn't turn around. I'm talking to you. Patricia's voice rose. It's basic manners to look at someone when they're speaking. Jordan finally turned. Chocolate still streaked her hair. Her eyes were calm. Unnervingly calm. I was invited by Mr. Henderson, she said quietly. I have every right to be here. Patricia's laugh was sharp. Robert Henderson wouldn't invite someone dressed like that to a benefactor's event. Let's be real. She gestured at Jordan's outfit with a manicured hand. Jeans to Meadowbrook. What are you, the help? David stepped closer. He sized Jordan up like livestock at auction. Look, miss. Nobody wants a scene. Why don't you just leave quietly? I have an invitation. Jordan repeated. From who? Patricia crossed her arms. Show me. It was verbal. Mr. Henderson called me personally. Patricia smirked. How convenient. No paper trail. She turned to the watching crowd. Anyone can claim they were invited, right? A few people nodded. Some looked uncomfortable, but said nothing. David pulled out his phone. I'm calling Robert right now. We'll get this cleared up. He dialed, waited. The call went to voicemail. Damn it, he's on the golf course. Of course he is. Patricia's smile was vicious. So, we have no proof you were invited. You're wearing jeans and you were going through corporate documents that don't belong to you. She reached across the table and snatched one of Jordan's papers, held it up to the light. Her eye scanned the header. Ellis Industries Q2 Aerospace Projections. Patricia read aloud, mocking. Oh, this is rich. Did you steal these from some office? Corporate espionage. Jordan stood slowly. She was 3 inches taller than Patricia. That's confidential property. I need it back. Or what? Patricia held the paper higher. You'll call your lawyer, sweetie? Lawyers cost money. She ripped the paper in half, then in half again. Pieces fluttered to the floor like snow. Oops. The terrace went silent. Even the violin stopped. Jordan's hands curled into fists at her sides. Her breathing stayed controlled. In through the nose, out through the mouth, her therapist's voice in her head. Don't let them see you break. You just destroyed corporate property, Jordan said evenly. David laughed. Lady, I don't know what office you clean, but those documents probably belong to your employer, not you. He stepped closer. Close enough that Jordan could smell bourbon on his breath. Let me guess. You're somebody's secretary, administrative assistant here to pick up your boss. Maybe she's catering staff, Patricia added. The uniform room is through the kitchen, honey. Laughter rippled through nearby tables. Not everyone, but enough. Jordan bent down to collect the torn pieces. Her hands shook now, visibly shook. Brandon saw an opening. He darted forward and kicked Jordan's briefcase hard. It toppled over. Documents exploded across the floor. Pens rolled. A tablet clattered against marble. Brandon. Patricia's voice was delighted. Stop that. But she was laughing. You'll get your shoes dirty. Jordan knelt. She gathered papers on her hands and knees. Chocolate from her hair dripped onto the floor, a red leather folder, a USB drive, contracts with government seals. David watched her crawl. His expression was disgust mixed with amusement. Look, sweetheart, I don't know what diversity hire program landed you here, but Meadowbrook is a private club. We have standards. We have traditions. He said diversity like the word tasted bad. Patricia circled Jordan like a shark. What David's trying to say politely is that you'd be more comfortable at the public facilities in town. You know, where people like you usually go. People like you. The words hung in the air. No one pretended anymore what this was about. Jordan stayed on her knees gathering papers. Her face was stone, but her eyes were wet. Thomas moved forward. Mrs. Whitmore, perhaps we should. Stay out of this, Thomas. Patricia didn't even look at him. Unless you want to join her. Thomas stopped, his hands clenched at his sides. 30 years of swallowing words. Margaret, the elderly woman at table 7, stood again. Patricia, that's enough. Her husband yanked her down. Margaret, don't. She's Saturday. Jordan gathered the last document. She stood slowly, briefcase in one hand, torn papers in the other, chocolate staining her blazer, water soaking her jeans. She looked at Patricia, at David, at Brandon. I understand perfectly, she said quietly. More than you know. She turned toward the terrace exit. 10 tables between her and the door. Every eye in the room followed her. She made it 5 steps. Brandon grabbed his glass of orange juice, half full, pulp floating on top. He wound back his arm. Brandon, no. Thomas started. The juice hit Jordan square in the back. Cold liquid soaked through her blazer. Orange pulp slid down her spine. Patricia's shriek of laughter echoed off the vaulted ceiling. She doubled over, holding her stomach. Oh my God, Brandon. David high-fived his son across the table. That's my boy. That's my boy. Other parents smiled. Some shook their heads, but said nothing. A few looked away. Jordan stopped walking. She stood perfectly still. Orange juice dripped from her blazer onto the marble floor, creating a small pool. She didn't turn around, didn't speak. Her shoulders rose and fell with each breath. Then she reached into her pocket, pulled out her phone. The screen was already recording, had been recording for 23 minutes. She tapped stop, saved the file, then turned slowly. Her face was calm, eerily calm. She looked at Patricia, at David, at Brandon, at every single person watching. I'm leaving now, she said. Her voice carried across the terrace, clear, controlled. But I'll be in touch. Patricia waved dismissively. Oh, we're so scared. Thomas, call security. I want her escorted out properly. That won't be necessary. Jordan's eyes locked on David. I know the way. She walked toward the exit. Orange juice and chocolate left a trail behind her. Her heels clicked against the marble. Each step measured, deliberate. At the door, she paused, turned back one last time. See you Monday, Mr. Whitmore. David frowned. Monday? Lady? I don't even know who you are. Jordan smiled. Cold, thin. It didn't reach her eyes. You will. Then she was gone. Patricia burst into fresh laughter. Did she just threaten us? Did everyone hear that? She pulled out her phone, started typing furiously. This is going on Instagram. When random people crash your event and then make threats. #Meadowbrook standards. David returned to his table, sat down, picked up his mimosa. Crazy woman, probably mentally ill. Brandon was still grinning, high on adrenaline and approval. Thomas stood near the kitchen door. His fists were white-knuckled. His breathing was heavy. Margaret leaned toward her husband, whispered urgently. Harold, that was wrong. We should have said something. Stay out of it, he hissed back. The violins resumed playing. Conversations picked back up. The servers returned to work. The terrace returned to normal, like nothing had happened, like Jordan Ellis had never been there at all. Patricia posted the Instagram story before Jordan's car left the parking lot. She uploaded a photo taken from behind, Jordan's back, orange juice staining her blazer, walking toward the exit. Patricia added text overlay, when random people try crashing our events. Security handled it, though. She added stickers, laughing emojis, a GIF of someone being escorted out, hashtags, #Meadowbrook standards, #private club life, #know your place. She hit share. Within 10 minutes, the story had 400 views. Within 30, 3,000. Her followers started commenting immediately. OMG, who was that? You're so brave, Patricia. Protecting your community. But other comments appeared too. This feels racist. What if she was invited? Why are you posting this? Patricia deleted the critical ones, blocked 2 users, kept scrolling. One comment made her pause. Wait, is that Jordan Ellis? She spoke at my university last year. She's a CEO. Patricia screenshot it, sent it to David with 3 laughing emojis. He didn't respond. 64 minutes after Jordan left, David's phone rang. Robert Henderson, club president. David answered cheerfully. Rob, how's the back 9? David. Robert's voice was tight. I just got 6 texts about an incident at brunch. What happened? Oh, that. David waved his free hand dismissively. Some woman tried crashing the event. Patricia handled it. No big deal. Some woman. Robert's voice rose. David, who was she? What did she look like? I don't know. Black woman, jeans, didn't belong. Claimed you invited her, but... Oh, God. Robert's breathing was audible. Oh, God. David, what did you do? What? We asked her to leave. She was going through corporate documents, probably stolen. We were protecting. That was Jordan Ellis. Silence. David's mimosa glass stopped halfway to his lips. What? Jordan Ellis, CEO of Ellis Industries. I invited her personally to discuss the STEM sponsorship. The terror suddenly felt too hot. David's collar was choking him. That's not possible. She was conducting an anonymous evaluation of our club culture before committing $5 million. Robert paused. What did you do? David's mouth was dry. There was a misunderstanding. My son, Patricia. We didn't know. Your son, what did Brandon do? David didn't answer. David, what did your son do to her? He threw some food. It was a joke. Kids being kids. He threw food at a guest I personally invited. Robert's voice cracked. Are you insane? It was just a croissant. And what else? David's hand was sweating against the phone. Orange juice, maybe. Patricia might have said some things, but we didn't know who she was. That's exactly the problem, David. Robert was breathing hard now. You didn't need to know. You should treat every guest with respect. David hung up, stared at his phone, then Googled Jordan Ellis CEO. The screen filled with results. Forbes profile, recent interviews, corporate headshot, TED Talk with 2 million views. He clicked images. There she was. Professional photo, blazer and pearls, hair styled, confident smile, the same face, the same woman. His stomach dropped like an elevator with cut cables. He scrolled frantically, found her company website, Ellis Industries Headquarters Project, request for proposals. He clicked the procurement page. His company name was there. Whitmore Properties Group, lead bidder status under final review. Final decision meeting Monday 9 a.m. 29 hours away. David's vision blurred. The terror spun. He grabbed the table for support. Patricia. His voice came out strangled. Patricia, get over here. She was 3 tables away, showing friends the Instagram post. What? I'm busy now. The tone made her stand. She walked over, annoyed. What's wrong with you? That woman. David's voice was barely audible. The one Brandon threw food at. What about her? That was Jordan Ellis. Patricia blinked. Who? Jordan Ellis, CEO of Ellis Industries, the company I'm bidding for. $1.5 billion contract. The final meeting is Monday. Patricia's face went white. No, she wasn't. I just Googled her. It's her. The same woman. Patricia grabbed his phone, looked at the photos. Her hand started trembling. Oh my God. Oh my God, David. That's not possible. She was dressed like. I know what she was dressed like. David stood abruptly. His chair fell backward, crashed against marble, every head turned. And you posted it on Instagram. I'll delete it. Patricia was already pulling out her phone. Right now. I'll delete it. She opened Instagram. The story was still up. Views, 3,400. Shares, 47. She hit delete. A message popped up, story has been shared. Deletion may not remove all copies. No. 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 Patricia's finger jabbed the screen frantically. Delete. Delete. But it was too late. Screenshots existed. People had saved it. Shared it to other platforms. What do we do? Patricia's voice was shrill. We apologize, right? We send flowers, a donation. We explain it was a misunderstanding. David was already typing an email. His fingers fumbled over keys. Dear Ms. Ellis, there has been a terrible misunderstanding this morning. My family and I deeply regret. He stopped, read it back. It sounded pathetic, insincere. He deleted it. Started again. Miss Ellis, I would like to apologize personally for any confusion at Meadowbrook today. Perhaps we could meet for dinner this week to discuss. Delete. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Hello? Mr. Whitmore. A woman's voice. Professional. Cold. This is Rebecca Carter from the Connecticut Post. We received information about an incident at Meadowbrook Country Club this morning. Would you care to comment? David hung up. The phone rang again immediately. Different number. He declined the call. A text from his business partner, David, I'm seeing something online about Meadowbrook. What happened? Another text from his company's VP, boss, we need to talk. Urgent. Email notification. Subject, Ellis Industries meeting status update. His hands were shaking so badly he almost dropped the phone. He didn't open the email. Couldn't. Patricia was pacing. This is fixable. We explain. We apologize. Rich people forgive rich people. That's how it works. We're not rich like her, David said quietly. What? Her company is worth $2.3 billion. We're worth $890 million. He laughed. It sounded hysterical. We're not even in the same league. Brandon appeared beside the table, still grinning. Dad, did you see? I got her good with the juice right in the back. David looked at his son. Really looked at him. Saw himself, saw Patricia, saw everything they had taught this child. Go to the car, David said. But I? Now. Brandon's smile faded. He walked away slowly, confused. Patricia's phone started buzzing. Comments on her deleted story. People tagging her in posts. Her Instagram notifications went crazy. She opened one tag. Someone had screenshot her story and posted it with new text, Patricia Whitmore and family assault Dr. Jordan Ellis, CEO of Ellis Industries at Meadowbrook Country Club. Dr. Ellis is worth $2.3 billion and was evaluating the club for a $5 million donation. The Whitmores just destroyed everything. The post had 800 likes, 100 shares, and it had been live for 6 minutes. David. Patricia's voice was small now, childlike. David, people know. Everyone knows. His phone rang again. This time he recognized the number. Robert Henderson. He answered. Robert. David, emergency board meeting tomorrow, 1 p.m. You and Patricia, mandatory. Robert hung up before David could respond. Another call, his lawyer. David, I'm seeing things online. Don't say anything to anyone. Not reporters, not friends, no social media. Call me back immediately. Text from his mother, what is this I'm hearing about Meadowbrook? Call me. A text from his sister, David, what the hell did you do? Email from 3 different clients, we need to discuss our contract. Patricia was scrolling through Instagram. Her follow count was dropping. 47,000, 46,900. 46,800. Comments flooded in, racist. Disgusting behavior. I'm unfollowing. This is why we need to eat the rich. She was crying now. Mascara running. Make it stop, David. Make it stop. But he couldn't. Because at that exact moment across town, Jordan Ellis sat in her home office. The recording was crystal clear. 23 minutes. Every word, every laugh, every insult. She had already sent it to her attorney. Rachel Martinez, civil rights specialist, 30 years of experience. Rachel called back within 10 minutes. Jordan, this is everything. The audio is perfect. Multiple witnesses will corroborate. You have assault, battery, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. We can file Monday. What about criminal charges? Jordan asked. Possible. The DA will want to review. Child assault statutes are tricky, but the parents are liable for supervision. Rachel paused. How much do you want to pursue this? Jordan touched her hair, still sticky with chocolate. She looked at her blazer hanging over her chair. Orange juice stain permanent. All of it, she said. I want all of it. Good. Rachel's smile was audible. Because I just got off the phone with the NAACP. They want to discuss a class action against Meadowbrook. Apparently, 3 other families of color were rejected for membership under Patricia's committee. Jordan pulled up Patricia's deleted Instagram story on her phone. Someone had sent her the screenshot. She stared at it for a long moment. Then she forwarded it to her company's PR team. Subject line, prepare a statement. Press conference Monday 11 a.m. She stood, walked to her window, looked out at the city lights. Somewhere out there, the Whitmores were panicking. Good. Let them panic. Let them feel what she felt kneeling on that floor. Let them understand what consequences actually mean. She smiled. For the first time since that morning, she smiled. Monday morning, 8:45. David Whitmore stood in the Ellis Industries lobby. Marble floors stretched 50 feet. Floor-to-ceiling windows flooded the space with light. The air smelled like leather and money. He wore his best suit, Tom Ford, navy blue, $3,000, white roses in hand, $200 from the florist who opened early for him. He had rehearsed his apology 17 times. His hands were sweating. The receptionist looked up. Young, professional, her smile was ice. Mr. Whitmore. Yes. 9 o'clock meeting with Ms. Ellis. He placed the flowers down. Could you give her these? With my sincerest apologies. Her smile didn't move. Mr. Whitmore, there's been a schedule change. Ms. Ellis is unavailable. Unavailable. His voice cracked. The contract presentation, the final decision. My team flew in. You should check your email. David pulled out his phone. His hand shook. He nearly dropped it. Email received at 9 a.m. exactly 9. Subject, Ellis Industries HQ project bid status update. He opened it. The words blurred. He read the first line 3 times. Dear Mr. Whitmore, after comprehensive review, Ellis Industries has decided to pursue alternative partnerships for our headquarters campus project. Your firm's bid has been withdrawn from consideration effective immediately. This decision is final. We wish you success in future endeavors. The phone slipped, clattered on marble. $1.5 billion. Gone. The receptionist picked up his phone, handed it back. Anything else, Mr. Whitmore? He couldn't speak. Behind him, the elevator dinged. His project team emerged. 6 people, architects, engineers, all dressed for the presentation of their lives. David. His lead architect approached. Conference room. Go home. His voice was hollow. What? We lost it. Go home. They stood frozen, mouths open, briefcases hanging. David walked past them through the lobby, out the doors, to the parking garage. He sat in his Mercedes for 20 minutes, staring at nothing. His phone rang. Patricia. Did you fix it? Desperate. Did you apologize? We lost the contract. Silence. What? $1.5 billion. Gone. Patricia's breathing was sharp. But you apologized. The flowers. Doesn't matter. She cancelled at exactly 9 o'clock. Probably decided Saturday night. David, what do we do? I don't know. He hung up. Across town, Jordan Ellis entered a packed conference room. 20 journalists, 5 news stations, NPR microphones, photographers lining walls. She wore charcoal, hair styled, makeup perfect. She looked like power. Attorney Rachel Martinez stood left. NAACP representatives flanked right. Jordan approached the podium. Silence fell except for camera shutters. Good morning. Thank you for coming. Her voice was steady. Each word deliberate. On Saturday, May 18th, I attended Meadowbrook Country Club as an invited guest. I was evaluating the club for a $5 million STEM donation. Cameras flashed. Journalists typed. Instead, I was physically assaulted by a 12-year-old child. His parents laughed. I was told I didn't belong. I was accused of theft. I was subjected to racial slurs and publicly humiliated. She paused. I recorded everything. The room erupted. Questions shouted over each other. Jordan raised one hand. Silence. I'll play 30 seconds now. She nodded. Audio filled the room. Patricia's voice crystal clear. What the hell is she doing here? Impact sound. The croissant. Patricia's laugh. Vicious. Delighted. That's what happens when trash doesn't know its place. David's voice. You, out now before I have you arrested. Brandon's voice, young and cruel. I got her good. The recording stopped. Several journalists covered their mouths. One was crying. Jordan continued, this isn't one incident. This is systemic discrimination, assumptions based on appearance, indignity people of color face daily, regardless of achievement. She looked into the camera. I have a PhD from MIT. I built a $2.3 billion company. I employ 12,000 people. None of that protected me from being treated like trash. Her voice didn't waver. Today, I'm filing a civil suit against the Whitmore family. Assault, battery, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Rachel stepped forward. The NAACP is investigating Meadowbrook's membership practices. We have evidence of systematic discrimination. Jordan held up her phone. Patricia's Instagram screenshot appeared on the screen behind her. Mrs. Whitmore posted this publicly, mocking me. She deleted it, but the internet is forever. A reporter raised her hand. Ms. Ellis, your company just cancelled a $1.5 billion contract with Whitmore Properties. Is that retaliation? Jordan's face was stone. My board decided independently. I recused myself due to conflict. But I'll say this, Delis Industries partners with companies sharing our values. Character matters in business. Another reporter, what do you want? Jordan looked into the camera. Accountability. Consequences. I want people to understand wealth doesn't grant permission for cruelty. Power doesn't excuse prejudice. She stepped back. Thank you. No further questions. The room exploded with voices. Jordan walked out flanked by security. 10 minutes later, the press conference trended on Twitter. 30 minutes later, major networks ran the story. Within an hour, it was national news. By noon, the Whitmore's world was on fire. David sat in his car watching his phone blow up, clients calling, lawyers calling, his mother, his business partners, everyone. He didn't answer any of them. He just stared at the Ellis Industries building through his windshield, the building that should have been his greatest achievement. Now it was his grave. David released a statement at 2 p.m. Monday. His lawyer wrote it. 3 drafts, careful language, legally vetted. I deeply regret a misunderstanding that occurred at Meadowbrook Country Club. My family and I sincerely apologize to Ms. Ellis. We acted without full information and are committed to learning from this experience. He posted it on LinkedIn, his company website, emailed it to every client. The internet tore it apart in minutes. Misunderstanding? You assaulted her. You're only sorry you got caught. Without full information? You didn't need information to treat her with respect. Pathetic. By 3 p.m., his phone was exploding. 3 major clients terminated contracts. Shopping center deals worth $18 million. Office park renovations worth $12 million. All gone. The emails were identical, professional, cold. After careful consideration, we've decided to pursue other partnerships. This decision reflects our commitment to values-based business relationships. Values-based. The phrase was a knife. David's business partner called. David, the board wants you out. They're voting Wednesday. I built this company. Your grandfather built it. You're destroying it. The line went dead. Patricia posted an Instagram video at 4 p.m. She sat in their bedroom, makeup running, eyes red, hair uncombed. I made a terrible mistake. Her voice shook. I judged someone without knowing them. I'm so sorry. Tears streamed down her face. I'm not a racist. I have black friends. I volunteer at the community center. I donate to. The comments came instantly. You don't have black friends. You're crying because you got caught, not because you're sorry. I'm not racist is exactly what racists say. You showed your true colors. Own it. Her follower count dropped. 47,000, 43,000. 38,000, falling like dominoes. Sponsorship emails arrived. High-end jewelry brand, luxury skincare line, designer handbag company. All the same message, we're terminating our partnership effective immediately. Your recent actions don't align with our brand values. Patricia read each one. Her hand shook. Her breathing came in gasps. She had spent 5 years building her influencer career. 5 years of perfectly curated photos, aspirational lifestyle content, brand deals worth 6 figures annually, gone in 4 hours. Brandon's private school called at 5 p.m. The headmaster's voice was grave. Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, the board has reviewed Saturday's incident. Combined with Brandon's previous behavioral issues, we've decided his enrollment at Berkshire Academy is no longer tenable. You're expelling him. Patricia's voice was shrill. We donated a library wing. We're refunding your donation. Brandon's behavior represents a liability we cannot accept. He's 12 years old. He assaulted a guest at a country club. His parents encouraged it. This reveals a pattern we should have addressed earlier. The headmaster paused. I'm sorry. The decision is final. Patricia called for other private schools. All had waiting lists. All said they'd call back. None did. Meadowbrook Country Club's board met Monday evening. Emergency session. All 12 members present. Robert Henderson presided. His face was grey. He hadn't slept. We have audio evidence, video from multiple members, social media posts. He placed printed screenshots on the table. The Whitmores assaulted an invited guest. A guest I personally invited to discuss a $5 million donation. Board member Sarah Carter spoke. We need to act decisively. This is a PR catastrophe. It's more than PR, another member added. It's moral bankruptcy. The vote was unanimous. Whitmore family membership permanently revoked. Access to all facilities terminated immediately. The letter was delivered by courier at 7 p.m. Patricia opened it with shaking hands. Read aloud. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Whitmore, the Meadowbrook Country Club Board of Directors has voted to permanently revoke your family membership, effective immediately. This decision follows conduct unbecoming of Meadowbrook values, including assault on an invited guest and racial harassment. Your access cards have been deactivated. Please arrange to collect your personal items from your locker by Friday. And she dropped the letter. It fluttered to the floor. This is our entire social life. Her voice was small, broken. David stared at the wall. It's worse than that. His phone buzzed. Another email. His bank. Dear Mr. Whitmore, we'd like to schedule a meeting to discuss your business loan terms. Several recent developments require review of your credit facility. They were calling his loans. $50 million in active financing. Projects under construction. Payroll to meet. If the bank pulled out, everything would collapse. Patricia looked at him. Mascara streaked her face. What do we do? David's laugh was bitter. Empty. We beg. Beg who? Jordan Ellis. He picked up his phone, started typing an email. We beg for mercy. His hand shook so badly he could barely type. Please, Miss Ellis. I have 400 employees depending on this. I'm begging you. 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes to apologize properly. He hit send, stared at the screen. No response came. None would. The story went viral Tuesday morning. CNN ran it at 6 a.m. Tech CEO assaulted at country club. Audio reveals racial harassment. MSNBC followed at 7 o'clock. When privilege meets power, the Jordan Ellis case. Fox News at 8. Country club controversy sparks national debate. By noon, Jordan's name was trending on Twitter. #Jordan Ellis, #Meadowbrook racism, #everyday racism. TikTok exploded. Patricia's laugh became a sound clip. Millions of videos, people mocking her voice, acting out the scene, calling for justice. The audio snippet had 15 million plays in 24 hours. Memes flooded Instagram. Side-by-side photos. Patricia's deleted post next to Jordan's Forbes cover. Caption, when you assault a billionaire and don't even know it. Brandon's orange juice throw became an animated GIF. Shared 200,000 times. Jordan appeared on Good Morning America Wednesday. The host, Michelle Carter, leaned forward, sympathetic but professional. Dr. Ellis, walk us through what happened Saturday. Jordan's voice was calm, measured. She had told this story 100 times now. It didn't get easier. I went to evaluate the club's culture to see if they deserved a $5 million investment. She paused. Within an hour, a child threw food at my head. His parents laughed. They told me I didn't belong. They accused me of theft. They had me escorted out. And you recorded everything. I did. I've learned to document discrimination. It's the only protection we have. Michelle's voice dropped. How did it feel at that moment? Jordan's eyes went distant. Like, no matter what I achieve, I'll always be judged by my skin first. My credentials are second, if at all. The interview clip got 12 million views. Business schools started using the case. Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. Ethics and corporate partnerships. The Ellis Whitmore case study. Students debated. Was pulling the contract justified? Was it retaliation or accountability? Most sided with Jordan. The Connecticut Post ran a deeper investigation Thursday. Front page banner headline, Whitmore Properties, a pattern of discrimination. The reporter, James Liu, had interviewed 43 people. Former employees, rejected tenants, business partners. The stories were damning. A black family was denied an apartment in 2022. Their application was perfect. Credit score over 800, combined income $200,000, rejected for insufficient references. A white family with worse credit was approved the same week. A former Whitmore employee testified. David would look at applications and say things like, "Not the right fit for our properties." Everyone knew what that meant. Email evidence surfaced. David reviewing rental applications. One email to his property manager, the Johnson application. I don't think they're Whitmore material. Find a reason. The Johnsons were black. Another email, let's prioritize the Anderson family. They'll fit better with our tenant community. The Andersons were white. Federal housing investigators opened a case Friday. Possible Fair Housing Act violations. Systematic discrimination in rental practices. Fines could reach millions. Criminal charges were possible. Meadowbrook's investigation expanded. The NAACP found 3 families, all rejected for membership in the past 2 years, all people of color, all with credentials that exceeded most current members. Dr. Michael Carter, surgeon, Yale Medical School. Annual income $400,000. Rejected. Reason given, membership at capacity. 2 white families were approved the same month. Maria Rodriguez, federal judge, Harvard Law, impeccable reputation, rejected. Reason, not enough member recommendations. She had 3 recommendations. The minimum required was 2. The Davis family. Both parents were attorneys. Children at top private schools. Rejected. Reason, concerns about cultural fit. Cultural fit. The phrase appeared in 17 rejection letters over 5 years. Every single rejected family was non-white. Former committee members started talking, anonymous interviews. Patricia controlled everything. She'd look at photos and make snap judgments. She once said we needed to maintain the club's traditional character. We all knew what she meant. If a minority family applied, she'd find reasons. Always reasons that sounded legitimate but weren't. The NAACP filed a class action suit Wednesday. $12 million in damages, federal discrimination charges, demands for systematic reform. Meadowbrook's board panicked. Emergency measures, hired a diversity consultant, announced mandatory bias training, pledged to fast-track minority applications. Too little, too late. 47 members resigned in protest, not because of the discrimination, because of the reforms. One resignation letter leaked online. Meadowbrook has lost its way. The club was built on certain standards. Those standards are now being destroyed by political correctness. The letter went viral. The member who wrote it was identified. His law firm dropped him. Jordan's legal team prepared for trial. Rachel Martinez assembled a devastating case. Audio evidence, video from 5 different phones, social media posts, witness testimony, medical records documenting emotional distress, expert witnesses lined up. Dr. Sarah Johnson, psychologist, testified about racial trauma. Public humiliation based on race causes documented PTSD symptoms, anxiety, depression, hypervigilance. Dr. Marcus Williams, sociologist, testified about country club discrimination. These institutions have historically excluded people of color. They've adapted their language, but the discrimination persists. Thomas, the Meadowbrook manager, agreed to testify. After 30 years of silence, he spoke. I've watched the Whitmores humiliate people for years. Staff, guests, anyone they deemed beneath them. Saturday was just the first time someone fought back. Margaret, the elderly woman who tried to help, also testified. I'm ashamed I didn't stand up. I'm ashamed it took this long. But Patricia Whitmore has been cruel for years. We all looked away. The Whitmores tried desperately to settle. Their attorney made offers. $2 million, then $5 million, then $8 million. Rachel brought each offer to Jordan. Jordan refused them all. I want a trial. I want testimony on public record. I want everyone to see what happened. This isn't about money, Rachel said. No, it's about accountability. The trial was set. October 15th, Federal Courthouse. Judge Maria Santos presiding. Media credentials requested, 200 outlets. The judge limited it to 50. Courtroom capacity, 120 seats. Demand, thousands. The trial would be live streamed. First time in Connecticut federal court history. Meanwhile, the Whitmores were drowning. David's company lost 40% of its value. 6 clients gone. 3 projects cancelled. The bank restructured his loans with devastating terms, higher interest, shorter timeline, personal guarantees required. He laid off 60 employees, then 40 more. His CFO resigned. His VP of operations quit. The company that employed 400 now employed 280 and falling. Patricia's influencer career was dead. 3,000 followers remained. No sponsorships, no brand deals, no income. Her friends stopped calling. Her charity boards removed her. Her book club uninvited her. She was a pariah. Brandon was in public school now. The only option left. He was bullied daily. Kids who recognized him. Kids whose parents had seen the videos. One afternoon, someone threw food at him in the cafeteria. The principal called Patricia. We need to discuss Brandon's safety. Patricia hung up without responding. The irony was not lost on anyone. Autumn arrived. The leaves turned gold and red. The trial date approached. The Whitmores had one last card to play. Public apology, complete, unequivocal, on national television. They arranged an interview, NBC prime time, their final attempt at redemption. It would not go as planned. The trial lasted 3 weeks. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Unanimous verdict. Guilty on all counts. $8.5 million in damages, $3.5 million compensatory, $5 million punitive. The jury foreman, a retired teacher, spoke to reporters afterward. We wanted to send a message. Wealth doesn't excuse cruelty. Power doesn't grant permission to discriminate. Criminal charges followed. The prosecutor was thorough. Assault, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, child endangerment. The Whitmores pleaded no contest, avoided trial, minimized publicity. The judge was not lenient. 200 hours of community service each, diversity education programs, teaching tolerance workshops, 3 years probation, any violation meant jail time. Brandon was placed in intensive therapy, weekly sessions, mandatory for 2 years, community service at a youth center serving underprivileged kids. The judge's words were pointed, this child learned hatred from his parents. Perhaps serving those he was taught to despise will teach him humanity. David filed for bankruptcy 6 months later. Personal and corporate. Assets liquidated. The mansion was sold at auction. $12 million gone to creditors and legal fees. They moved to a rental. 2 bedrooms, 1,500 square feet. The kind of place they once wouldn't have noticed. David worked as a consultant now. Small projects, modest income. His reputation preceded him. Doors that once opened automatically were now permanently closed. Patricia worked retail, department store, cosmetics counter, minimum wage plus commission. Her manager was a black woman named Tasha. Patricia called her The irony was suffocating. Meadowbrook settled the class action. $12 million to the rejected families. Mandatory reforms, diversity quotas. 40% of new members must be people of color for 5 years. The club hired Dr. James Morrison as diversity officer. He implemented sweeping changes, bias training for all members, zero-tolerance policies, anonymous complaint systems. 63 members resigned in protest. They joined other clubs that still welcomed traditional values. But Meadowbrook survived, changed, better. Jordan stood in Ellis Industries headquarters 3 months after the verdict. Company town hall, 1,200 employees in the auditorium, thousands more watching via live stream. That day at Meadowbrook, I had a choice. Her voice carried across the room. Clear, strong. Stay silent and take the high road or stand up and demand accountability. She paused, let the words settle. I chose to stand. Not just for me. For every person of color who's been judged, dismissed, humiliated for simply existing in spaces others deem not for you. Applause erupted. She waited for silence. People ask if I regret how it escalated. Never. Because silence enables oppression. Silence protects abusers. Silence tells the next Brandon Whitmore that cruelty has no consequences. She smiled. Warm now. Genuine. Today I'm announcing the Beyond Appearances initiative. $20 million in full scholarships for students of color in STEM fields. 15 university partnerships, 200 students in our first class. The applause was deafening. My success is my activism. Every door I open, I hold for others. Every table I sit at, I pull up more chairs. 6 months later, Jordan spoke at a civil rights conference in Atlanta. 5,000 attendees, standing ovation before she even reached the podium. The Whitmores learned an expensive lesson. Character has no dress code. Respect isn't reserved for people you recognize. Dignity isn't determined by designer labels. She looked across the crowd. Faces of every color, every background, every story. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear: this story isn't unique. Every single day, people of color face judgment based on appearance, assumptions based on skin color, dismissal based on stereotypes. Her voice intensified. Passionate now. The difference? I had resources to fight back. Most don't. Most swallow the insult. Most walk away silently. Most carry the wound forever. She gripped the podium. So I'm asking you, when you see it happen, speak up. When you witness discrimination, document it. When you have power, use it to protect those who don't. The crowd was silent, hanging on every word. Because the Whitmores aren't the exception. They're symptoms of something deeper. And until we all commit to calling out injustice, nothing changes. If this story moved you, share it. Let it spark conversations about bias and accountability. Comment below: have you witnessed discrimination? How did you respond? Subscribe to Blacktail Stories for more stories where justice prevails and the underestimated triumph. Hit that notification bell, these stories need to be told. But here's what I want you to think about tonight: how many Jordan Ellises have you dismissed based on first glance? How many times has your assumption robbed someone of basic dignity? The truth is uncomfortable. We've all been the Whitmores at some point, making judgments without information, assumptions without evidence. The question isn't whether you've done it, it's whether you'll do it again. What's your answer?